It is very hot this weekend. It's been up to 35 degrees C, so I came down to the basement where it's about 21 degrees. And as we can see here, revisiting this panel mount temperature humidity meter, it's stabilized pretty close to the other meter, so confirmed. This is pretty good. So 21 degrees, I can handle that. So while I'm hiding out down here, I thought I'd open up some things, beginning with the ever so elusive named plastic sheet. Now, what could this be? Is it really plastic and is it really a sheet? How do I get in there? Oh! LED bar graph displays, not really a plastic sheet. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of these. I may have ordered different colors, so I'm not sure what's what. I don't know if there's any identifying part number info here, but yeah, it looks like I have a whole bunch of dip socket style 10 LED bar graphs. They each have a slightly different barcode, so I assume it's 4 different packages of different colors. 10 segment LED bar graph displays. You get 10 pieces of each color that you want, and I got 4 colors and they have slightly different prices. So I got 10 of the red for $2.24 from Go Win Electronic, 10 of the yellow for $2.35, 10 of the blue, which are more expensive, for $3.04, and 10 of the green for $2.35. They have a convenient dip package, especially good for breadboards, and they have separate anode cathode across from each other, so you can just discreetly control them however you need. And here's some specs about the size and the fact that they are apparently bright. And as usual, being helpful, telling you what you can use it for. They are widely used in single-chip computer, audio equipment, instrument panels, and digital readout displays, etc. So the closest use I'm probably going to have in mind is audio equipment, maybe turning this into a volume level meter. We could also use it in single-chip computer stuff. Who knows, maybe we can use this to light up to show an address or data bus, so you can see the bits and have a nice compact binary counter display. This one is called Removal Tools, but it sounds like a bunch of tiny metallic things shaking around. Oh, yes, it's those spring push pins for watch strap repair, all kinds of different lengths. And you push the pin in and insert this in the watch strap and release it, and it springs back out and you can fix the watch. I have a watch that last summer the face started coming off of the strap, so I went online and ordered these around December finally. So I guess I'm gonna have to try that out at some point soon. See if I have any here that fit the watch strap. Watch band, spring bar, strap link pins, steel repair kit tools. 360 pieces, $5.18 from Dre T19. I don't think I've ordered anything from that person before. Now, I ordered this way back in December, I know that for sure. So these are those spring bars where you push in the edge and you can slide this into place on a watch strap and repair it. So they have 8 millimeters up to 25 millimeters long, and there's a lot of different sizes, and I have several of each, so I figured whatever size my watch band was, there's got to be something in here that'll fit it. So that's a little project for the near future. I haven't worn that watch in about a year since I broke the spring bar. It's about time I get it up and running. And they did promise here it includes all the sizes you need. 8 to 25 millimeter, you get 20 of each. That should be a lifetime supply. This has a description of 2.7 volt, 10 farad. Are these supercapacitors I ordered a long time ago? And if so, are they discharged? I don't want to get thrown across the basement. Lots of things in bubble wrap. Yes, it looks like I got a couple of 2.7 volt, 10 farad supercapacitors. They don't look any bigger than a 470 micro capacitor, so yeah, that's a lot of power. I got these, as usual, just to have around and to experiment with. No specific project, but you never know what you can come up with. Maybe I can try to use these to power a little circuit for a long amount of time or something. I wonder if I put these on a 555 timer, would it oscillate or would it zap it? Super ultra capacitor, 2.7 volt, 10 farad. From brilliantly illuminated, which I guess is what you might become if you touch the terminals when this is charged. It's $1.44 each. So it says it has low ESR, but what is the ESR value? And it can replace the battery. The temperature, it can go -40 to +65 C. So in trying to look up the ESR, I didn't really find much on this specifically, but I went to DigiKey and looked up 10 farad, 2.7 volt, and it looks like anywhere between 26 milliohms and 200 milliohms are to be expected from these probably more mainstream parts. Looks like the tolerances may be -10 to +30, although there are some parts here, also 10 farad, but -20 up to +50 or +80% tolerance. Speaking of capacitor, this is described as polyester film capacitors, and it sounds like a kit. So I assume I was really in a mood to stock up on a bunch of things lately. This looks like a similar plastic case to other things, like maybe the LEDs that I've been buying. I wonder, there must be a cheap case somewhere overseas that a lot of people buy for this stuff. And of course, the invisible Scotch tape. There. So yes, a whole bunch of values, but I guess I'd have to look at the individual capacitors to see what they are. It's not really written on here. So for example, 224, I believe that would be 0.22 microfarad, because 104 is 0.1 microfarad. I'm just guessing. So it looks like there's 15 different compartments, 15 values, and the easiest way to see what they are instead of trying to decode the numbers, let's just look it up. These polyester film capacitors in this kit, it's 150 pieces of 100 volt parts, 15 values between 0.33 nanofarad and 470 nanofarad. $5.68 from Autofield. Now they give some ideas about how these specifically can be used, but there are websites out there I've seen that do tell you what kind of capacitor to use for what kind of application. Maybe we'll see if we can dig something like that up quickly here. So obviously they are a polyester dielectric, and they're claiming they are plus or minus 5% tolerance. And why are these two voltage ratings highlighted and one's green, one's red? Bearable voltage 100 volts, rated voltage 100 volts, kind of looks more like a warning. I'm not sure what that means. Are they saying the recommended as well as the absolute maximum voltage is 100? Well, I don't plan to use them up that high anyway. No matter. So you get 10 each of all these values. I think the 224, yeah, here it is. The 224 I was looking at is 220 nano or 0.22 microfarad. So yes, good assortment of values just to have quickly on hand. A quick internet search about how to know when to use what type of capacitor turns up radio-electronics.com. I don't suppose there's any affiliation to the old magazine called Radio Electronics, which I think got renamed to Electronics Now and maybe merged with Popular Electronics as Poptronics, and then finally went out of business. Something like that rings a bell. So I think this would be a different outfit here. They also have other links here for different ones, but let's see what they say about polyester. They are often called mylar, and the polyester film dielectric gives the polyester capacitor its unique properties. Well, for one thing, it says here they are only available with leads and not surface mount. They have a high dielectric strength, so high voltage capacitors can be made in smaller packages with these. You can get low equivalent series resistance out of these, and more probably importantly here, these will be able to tolerate sharp, fast spikes in voltage. They can tolerate high changes in voltage over time. So it's not the tightest tolerance you can get, but better than plus or minus 20%, I guess. Oh, and here's a picture of one of these older style ones with the color code on it. I think I've seen these. I don't know if I have any of these. They always kind of look like candy, but don't eat. So yes, polyester capacitor applications. Circuits where the capacitor needs to handle high peak current levels. General things like coupling and decoupling, DC blocking. General purpose filtering where you don't need a high tolerance. Audio applications. Not sure what they mean by that. Maybe passing audio signals through them between stages, like DC blocking. And power supplies where you don't need high capacitance electrolytic values. So these are general purpose capacitors. I will throw this link down below for further research. This is described as expansion board module, expansion board module, expansion board module. So it feels like there's more than 3 expansion board modules, and they kind of feel like breadboards. Oh yeah. Oh, there's a lot of breadboards. I don't know where they get expansion board module times 3, unless it's different sizes and styles. Maybe that would make sense. We have 2 of the half-sized style, 2 of the full-size style, and 5 of these semi-small ones, which seem to be 2 different shades of white. These 2 look more pure white and these look more off-white. I don't know what that means. So yeah, I guess it's expansion board module times 3. So, breadboard tester. Let's just see what we got here. Does it work? That goes in nicely. Yep. I'm just going to do a really quick sample here. Yep. Looks good. I don't expect any problems with anything else here. Yeah. Breadboards I can trust. I think I'm going to be doing that quick breadboard test every single time I get a new breadboard now. After that one bad experience getting breadboards that I couldn't even insert the parts in, I find it hard to trust them. Looks like I got these trusty breadboards from Alice 110 1983. These MB-102 standard 830 tie point breadboards, $2.17, and it's your standard looking breadboard, brand new high quality, but ever Muse electronic, don't know what that means. Takes 20 to 29 gauge wire, and you get 5,000 insertion cycles. Now they say nickel plated, silver plated, and gold plated available. What am I getting? Probably the cheapest. So also from Alice for $1.39, these mini breadboards with the 400 tie points. Half size. These are also brand new and high quality, completely reusable, I hope. And these are nickel plated spring clips for sure. Although they don't mention how many insertion cycles or what gauges of wire, but I would expect the same. And of course, these tiny ones are fun to have. You get 5 of these white ones with 170 tie points for $2.20, also from Alice. So these don't have any power strips, it's just all these small 5 tie point strips, meant for just putting something small and quick on here. where you don't really want a huge breadboard dragging around. Now, what does this mean? It can be spliced into different size. I don't suppose they mean you can break it apart. That could mean anything. And the purpose is to experiment, test, or robot. So I guess, yeah, you could throw this on top of a robot, and it's small enough that the robot can carry it around and have some functionality. So at this point I am getting a huge collection of all kinds of sizes and colors of breadboards, but you can never have too many, especially when you've got some circuits half built and you don't want to take them apart. I don't mind paying this kind of money to have a whole lot of resources. And finally, something called one module. I wonder what it is. Something wrapped in conductive foam, I guess, is it? Maybe I'll want to keep that. I can't get this open. Those guys and their tape, they love that. There we go. So, what's in there? Oh, so I'm glad they wrapped this in all this protective foam. It's some sort of display. Very fragile looking, and look at the size of those flat flex pins. I wonder, do I have anything that will take that? Huh. Well, I don't remember this, but let's look it up and see what it is. And moreover, how am I going to use this? So I looked in this tray of flat flex materials, connectors, breakout boards. I found one that it's kind of hard to show, but it might be the right size. So maybe I had the foresight to order a suitable connector back whenever I bought this. Looks like this label was printed around March 2018. So I probably ordered it in March or April, I don't know. It sounds about right for when I was starting to accumulate all this flat flex. All right, e-ink screen, 1.54 inch, e-paper, 200 by 200 pixels, SPI interface from Robot Home. Looks like this is $10.75 and has $3 shipping. I don't really remember, because I got this so long ago, if I had something specific in mind at the time, or if this is the correct price at the time. I must have thought of a project that it would be nice to have this for, and just looking around at similar things that people have viewed, the prices look on par. Usually they'll show you if there's anything cheaper down here. So you're about to order a part and you quickly glance here and you'll see, oh, someone else is selling it 50 cents cheaper. So here's a bunch of specs. A lot of them I wouldn't know how to make use of right now. Like gray level 2, does that mean it's black and white? Aspect ratio 1:1, so I guess it's square, it's not rectangular. Refresh time 680 millisecond, I guess that's how long it takes to update the screen. SPI interface, 2.4 to 3.7 volt operating, so let's call it 3.3. And you can use it in 0 to 50 degrees Celsius temperatures. The controller IC is an IL3820, so I hope there's an Arduino library for that. And it has a model number, GDEH154D27. And it takes 26.5 milliwatts of power to refresh. And does this mean you can refresh 1,000,000 times before the display is dead? Not sure. And they give some frequently asked questions. What do we have here? So when you take power away, the image on the screen will be there at least half a year. And we already know about power consumption and operating temperature. And here they're confirming, because of the slow refresh speed, you don't really use it for animation video and stuff. You just update it with info and leave it. So of course, it's good for an ebook. You just load the screen up, and then however long it takes you to read the page, you refresh it at the end. And they give all these mechanical specs on the data sheet. So here's that flat flex connector, and it shows pin 1 on the left, pin 24 on the right, and it looks like right here the pitch between pins is 0.5 millimeter. So this sounds very familiar. I've been ordering all kinds of 0.5 or 1 millimeter pitch flat flex connectors, and 24 pin sounds familiar to me. So I'm guessing I either have something or have something waiting in an envelope to open that I can connect this up to and put it to use. So finally, all these things that I keep discovering in Mailbag, I'm getting enough things together that I can build a project out of it. I opened connectors probably for this a couple of months ago, and now I opened this. So soon enough, when I have a lot more time for projects, probably in a month from now, I'll try stuff like this out. That'll do it for this time. Maybe I better put this display somewhere safe in a drawer before it breaks. It looks very fragile. So lots more stuff to play with and lots more prototyping space in which to use all this stuff.